When Clara stood in front of me that evening, her eyes were distant, her tone trembling yet cold. I didn't expect the words that would leave her lips. "Ethan," she said, not meeting my eyes, "I'm engaged to another man. We've been dating for months." My heart froze in that instant. Every late-night call, every busy-at-work text, every sudden weekend trip, all of it started to make sense. I stood there, speechless, trying to comprehend how the woman I planned my future with had already built hers without me. She didn't cry. I did. Or maybe I didn't realize I was crying until the tears hit my hands. Clara just looked at me like I was some stranger who didn't deserve the truth until now. "It wasn't supposed to go this far," she murmured. "But I fell in love with him." That line felt like a knife. I asked her, quietly, "Then why did you stay with me?" Her answer was even worse, "Because I wasn't sure if he'd choose me." So, I was just her backup plan. That night, I packed my things from the apartment we'd shared for 3 years. Every photo, every shared memory felt fake now. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I left the keys on the counter and walked away with only one thought in mind. If she could betray me this easily, I'd show her what losing me really meant. The next few weeks were hard. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and I replayed our conversations over and over. My friends wanted me to move on, but something in me refused to end the story that way. Clara had broken me, but she had also underestimated me. I wasn't going to hurt her physically or ruin her life, but I knew exactly where to strike: her pride. Clara worked at a marketing firm, and she often bragged about how her department ran smoothly because of her leadership. What she didn't know was that my company, an IT firm, was about to merge with hers. I was promoted to oversee the transition between both companies. Fate, it seemed, had handed me the perfect stage for my revenge. When we met again, weeks later, she was shocked. Her fiancé, Thomas, stood beside her, smug, confident, unaware that the man his fiancée had betrayed was now the one leading the project that could decide their future. Clara's face turned pale when I shook hands with him. "Ethan," she whispered, "you work here." I smiled politely. "Not just work here, Clara. I'm the one in charge of reviewing your department's performance." The next few weeks were deliciously ironic. Clara tried to act professional, pretending that nothing had ever happened between us. But I could see the fear in her eyes every time I entered a meeting room. She knew her department wasn't performing as well as it should, and Thomas, her fiancé, was one of the junior managers under her supervision. The power dynamic shifted completely, and for once, I was in control. I didn't seek revenge through cruelty or lies. I let professionalism do the work. I evaluated everything with fairness, but without favoritism. And because of her own negligence, those long lunches with Thomas, the missed deadlines, the careless reports, her team fell short of the company's standards. When the final performance review was submitted, Clara's position was recommended for termination. When HR delivered the decision, she stormed into my office. "You did this on purpose," she accused, tears in her eyes. I looked at her calmly and said, "No, Clara. You did this to yourself. I just gave you the fairness you never gave me." She stared at me, stunned, realizing that her betrayal had finally caught up with her. Her fiancé didn't take it well either. Word spread that she had once been with me, and when he learned how their relationship began, overlapping mine, he felt humiliated. Within a month, they broke off their engagement. Clara left the company quietly, her once glowing reputation reduced to whispers in the hallways. Months passed. I moved on with my life, focusing on my work and myself. I didn't rush into another relationship. I learned to be alone, to find peace in silence rather than seeking validation from someone else. My revenge had not been about destroying her, it had been about restoring myself. One afternoon, I got a message from Clara. It was short: "You won." "I'm sorry." I stared at it for a long time, then deleted it. It wasn't about winning. It was about realizing that I had survived something meant to break me. Years later, I heard she had moved to another city, working a low-level job far from her once ambitious dreams. I felt no joy, no hatred, just closure. What she had done would always hurt, but I had learned something valuable. Betrayal might destroy trust, but it also builds strength if you let it. Sometimes, revenge doesn't come in loud ways. It comes quietly, through success, through peace, through walking away without turning back. That's what I did. And that was enough. Because the truth is, when she said, "I'm engaged to another man," she thought she'd left me broken. But in the end, she was the one who lost everything, and I, finally, found myself again.